So welcome to the Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Let's go and take a look. So this is a January 2017 66 plate plug-in hybrid Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, which stands for plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. I've sold quite a few of these over the years, and this is the limited edition Juro, J-O-R-O, which is basically a GX3H with some extras. So the extras are the power headlamp washers, nice alloys, heated leather, and a few other extras as well. It's a really nice ride. I've done around about just over 1,000 miles in this. We took this south to take my father-in-law away. All the kit is here, the jack, the tyre inflation kit, both cables. I've included a type 1 to type 2, as well as a granny cable. Being a later facelift model, we get a little power point in the back, which is rather useful. And we've got the load cover, which again is adjustable. Yeah, it's really nice. Drives absolutely spot on. To show the charging here, it's beeping because the car is on. That's the type 1 charger, and that's the CHAdeMO rapid charging connection. I just stop when I shut it. There we go. I bought some overmats, so some nice overmats in all 4-foot wells. We've got a nice little armrest with 2 cup holders in the back, 3 rear seat belts, and these do actually fold flat as well, which is really useful. The base seat actually will come up. Let me see if I can show with one hand. You can pull the base up, there we go. This then tips forward, then that then folds flat. So it's a really nice load area should you want to carry a load in the back. Some nice mat pockets in the back, electric windows all round. Yeah, it's really nice. And with the car being on, as we can see there, it's half charged. You can see in the sunlight, there we go. So that is basically the state of the battery, and that is the fuel tank. So the guesstimated range, just over half full, is 12 miles. So on a full charge you get about 25-26 miles range, and with a full petrol tank around about 300-mile range. This has got TomTom sat-nav, and also it has got Android Auto or Apple CarPlay as well. So it's a slightly revised screen on this one. Eco button, all the normal controls in the Outlander, very similar to the Leaf. You pull it across and down for drive, across and up for reverse. Just got rear beepers on this model, not a rear camera. Yeah, works really well. They're very comfortable to drive. Heated seats for the front passenger and the front driver, both high and low. Glove box, lots of cubby holes, charging points, etc. It really is a nice place to be. And yeah. So let me show you the documents. It was an ex-lease plan vehicle, no previous keepers, and you'll be the second keeper. It was registered there the 6th of February 2017, and it's a Juro Mitsubishi Outlander. So there we go, it's 0 to tax. So the V5 is here. Basically it's had its first MOT in January. So there's the MOT, and it's valid until the 5th of February 2021. Now there was some advisories which you can see there, and you can look this up on the dvla.gov.uk website. It just advised on brake discs, pitted, worn, pads, etc. So that was on the 15th of January. And interestingly, on the 15th of January, it had new discs and pads all round. So I'll show you later on, but it's had basically a complete brake overhaul. So new discs and pads all round, which would not have been cheap. But The great thing about lease vehicles is if anything needs doing, they just do it. So there's a printout here of everything that was done under the lease plan agreement. Even a service here from Hyundai dealer, which is probably linked into a Mitsubishi dealer as well. So that's there. So there's lots of history. 3 stamps in the book, last serviced at 38,000 miles. All the books are here, all the manuals that you'd expect with a brand new car, and all the passwords and key tabs, etc. And also we do have, he says, the locking wheel nut keys there as well. They're my mints. So everything's here that you'd expect to see. So here we go, let's go for a test drive. So foot on the brake, press the power button. That's it, it's on. So foot on the brake, take the handbrake off, pull the lever across and backwards for D for drive. Drive comes up on the dash, and like any automatic, you know, a bit of creep when you take your foot off the brake, and just squeeze the throttle. Now, because I've got 12 miles range, it will just use the battery. It will not use any of the 2-litre petrol engine unless you accelerate really aggressively. So there's like a power needle on, almost like where the rev counter should be, and if you keep it below the 12 o'clock position, so 12, 11, 10, 9 o'clock to the left, it will just operate on the battery. But if you ask for more energy, you want to go really fast, which I'll do now, you might hear the engine kick in. So I'm just going a straight bit of road. I'm going to accelerate now hard. There we go, the engine's kicked in, barely noticeable, but the engine has started for the first time today because I've accelerated hard. Now if I come off the accelerator, the engine will switch off again. So it's like any hybrid, but this is a plug-in hybrid, which basically means you've got a bigger battery than normal hybrid, which means you can do those 25, 26 miles before the 2-litre petrol engine will kick in. Now the early base model 3H Outlanders had a heater basically that took heat from around the engine. So what I'm trying to say is, with the early base trim Outlander, if you put the heater on, it would actually start the engine to create heat, to put heat in the cabin, which of course is ridiculous. But with the 4H and the 5H and the 5HS and this Juro model, it's got a heat pump, and that works really, really well. So you can take heat from the battery via a heat pump, which means you don't have to have the engine on to get some heat into the car. So that's a really neat feature, even on the base spec, which is what this is, with a few extras. So your estimated range on battery and petrol is always indicated. There's a raft of other features. We've got Bluetooth phone, sat nav, of course, DAB radio, as I mentioned earlier, Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, cruise control, speed limiter, everything you really want. And the heated seats are also great, as well as you've got these flappy paddles. Now what these flappy paddles do is they change the regen on the vehicle. So by pulling the minus, that means you want to lose speed, the minus, which means it increases the regen ability of the motor to put extra electricity back into the battery. And the plus means you want to gain speed, which means you want less regen. Seems a little bit counterintuitive, but plus means you want to gain speed, and minus means you want to lose speed. That's the way I think about it. And if you pull the right hand pedal and hold it, it defaults to D, which is basically B2. So you've got B0 all the way up to B5, which is the heaviest regen, which is great for going down a hill. So instead of sitting on the brakes, just click it with this paddle here into B5 and you'll harvest lots of energy, and you'll actually see the guesstimated range of battery power go up because you've harvested energy going down a hill or coming to a stop. You don't have to use the paddles, but if you're a bit geeky like me, it's nice to use them. If I'm doing a long trip, B0 is brilliant because you're just basically coasting. So I'm in B0 now, take my foot off the throttle, we've not actually lost any speed at all. It's just basically coasting, which obviously means you're going to get more range with the power you've got. Now on a run, and I say I've done, how many miles have I done in this? I've done 1,700 miles since I picked this up, because we went on holiday with my father-in-law. At the minute my average is 127 miles to the gallon because I've just been using electricity this morning. But in reality, on a good run, you'll get around 38 to 40 miles to the gallon driven sensibly in this car. So yeah, it's great. It's the best of both worlds. But the secret to any plug-in hybrid is when you're not using it, plug it in, and that's when you get the benefits. So let's just pull it back into this car park. There we go. Of course, when you come to a stop, it's totally quiet. Really, really nice piece of kit. Anyway, that concludes the short test drive. I'll take you now for a brief walk around this car. So, welcome back from the test drive. So what I'm going to do now is just point out any imperfections. Now, I've given this a quick wash this morning. It's yet to be detailed. So there's quite a few small tar spots that will come out with a polish. So I'm going to de-tar it, but it's very, very clean. Windscreen is chip free. There's a little stone chip there on the roof line. This is quite common on the Mitsubishi Outlander because of the shape. And there's a few chips to the bonnet. But again, I'll get these touched in. But it's a facelift, and I think they look great as a facelift. I really do. Now, tyres. They are all very, very recent Dunlop winter tyres all round. 4 brand new tyres. And there's those new discs that I mentioned earlier. So they're all Dunlop winter tyres all round. There we go. SP Winter Sport 4D. Okay, and there's the new discs on the back. There's a few very light scratches on the boot lip, but again they will polish out. No cracks to the lenses. All the alloys are perfect, they really are. Again, new tyre on the back, new tyres all round. Even the front near side, which sometimes, well I say sometimes, regularly do get scuffed. This is perfect. There's not a mark on this alloy. All got locking wheel nuts in place as well. DAB radio, like a weird aerial in the windscreen is a DAB radio system. So there we go, it's here on Orkney. I can deliver this UK wide. We won't have this for long. It really is a nice thing to drive. Okay, if you want any more details about the service we offer, or if you like this delivery, it's a beautiful pearlescent white as well. I don't know whether I mentioned that. It's not a solid white, it's a metallic white, and when it's clean it looks absolutely fantastic. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.